50%. But let's go ahead and take a deeper look into those early voting numbers with John Ralston, CEO of the Nevada Independent. And John, thank you for joining us. Now, I have to ask, Republicans, they're leading in statewide in Nevada after only 3 days of early voting and mail ballot counting. Now, when it comes to early voting, what are some trends that you've been noticing so far?
Well, this is highly unusual. Usually in a presidential cycle since 2008, and the Democrats have won the presidential race here every cycle since 2008, the Democrats have a sizable lead after the first 3 days. So the fact that they're behind, the fact that the registration numbers are so close is not good news for the Democrats. My caveat here is there are only 3 days of data. There's 14 days of early voting, and the mail ballots can be very erratic in how big batches they come in, and Democrats will win those.
All right, now Trump and Harris, they're not letting loose on any punches right now. And with more visits to Las Vegas and Nevada as a whole, the fight is still on for us, especially when it comes to Black and Latino voters. The turnout in Nevada and the fight for our votes is coming in big for them.
Listen, we are the We Matter state, as I like to say, and they are all coming here. Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate for the Democrats, will be here this weekend, and both J.D. Vance and Donald Trump will be here this week. So no one's taking Nevada for granted, and since these 7 battleground states are all so close, they are going to keep campaigning in all of them.
Now, this one is pretty crazy to me. The rumors, John, are already going around. Washoe GOP sent out a statement talking about machines turning votes from one candidate to the other, and this is all without facts being presented. My question to you is, how dangerous is this?
It's very dangerous and it's outrageous. The Washoe County Republican Party, and for those of the viewers who don't know, that's Reno and the suburbs, sent this out yesterday, a blast, that there was a report that voters were having their choices of Donald Trump switched to Kamala Harris. This is the same nonsense they came up with in 2020. They are trying to lay the groundwork for a challenge to the election should Trump lose here, just as they tried to do in 2020. But if you're trying to rebuild faith in democracy, this is the worst way to do it.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. So at the end of the day, for us regular people out there, paying attention to the polls, do we take a lot of weight in this right now from what we see?
Yeah, I don't think the polls have been very good for a long time here in Nevada. And right now, I'd much rather rely on the actual votes that have been cast. You mentioned it, about 250,000 votes have already been cast, and we see what the division is there. The one wild card in Nevada, which pollsters are not going to be able to pick up, is that the plurality of voters now in Nevada are not registered with either major party. How are these nonpartisan and third-party voters, the registered with third parties, going to vote? We don't know the answer to that, but they're the key to the election here.
Now, curious, there's a lot of people this year on both sides that might be voting for the other side, even though they're not registered at the DMV for them. Do you think that could play a difference in this election as well with the flip-flop?
It could. You're right. It could be a huge key if Democrats voting for Trump or Republicans voting for Harris. That means that they're hemorrhaging off of their bases. Again, polling shows that they're both getting around 90% of the base, but you even lose a couple of points off of that, it could cost you the election.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, John Ralston from the Nevada Independent. Make sure you check out his Twitter at Ralston Reports to keep up with all of your Nevada election news. Thank you so much for coming by. We'll talk to you next time.